how much will recruiting impact Oregon State, Washington State, Cal, and Stanford? This is assuming that they don't go to the Big Ten, the Big 12, the ACC, the SEC. I think it's safe to say it's going to impact them some. It's going to hurt them. Maybe more than other sports, in some sports than others. Unless you're like a powerhouse of a program like Oregon State baseball, Stanford women's basketball, Stanford softball, Stanford baseball. That's just naming some examples. And I know I could list more down the line. But you get the point, and I know I didn't mention anything from Cal. I'm just going off of this based on top of my head. And I know Cal women's tennis was down last year, but they have been known in the past. And Stanford men's tennis has been not as great when it's not like they've been terrible. It's just Sweet 16, not like Elite 8 the last couple of years. And all this, so I also think the uncertainty will hurt them too. It's like unless they find some place quickly here, it's gonna hurt them in that aspect as well. Even if they find a home, it's in a lesser conference like the Mountain West, the American. It could very well hurt them. And I know Oregon State football has been on the up and up with Jonathan Smith, and he's a great head coach. I think their goal, hopefully, he rallies the troops for their fans' sake, and wherever they go next, win that conference in order to make the college football playoff and the expanded in 2020 in a year from now, and then maybe win a playoff game, and then maybe get considered as a Power 5 opportunity as soon as that TV deal is up. I mean, that's the truth in all this. And you got to build your brand too. I know it's asking a lot for Oregon State to do that. And same thing goes for Washington State and all this too. I know they're not on the same level as Oregon State, but you get the point. I mean, Stanford's been down recently, and they have a new head coach. And it's unfortunate that the new head coach is thrown into this situation here for football. And Justin Wilcox, he might be on his way out if he doesn't make a bowl game this year for Cal and football. So, as a head coach, I just want to go over this, and wherever Cal ends up, who knows? Or does Stanford go independent after all? I don't know. And I know there has been it's not like this is under a rumor here that the college football playoff, when it expands, it's going to be only four Power 5 conferences, and then the highest ranked group of 5, and then 7 at-larges. They might be talking about that right now. And I know it's probably a good discussion point, and if they do want to discuss that, because do you really want to get like a 2 G5s? I think it would be helpful for the game. I just don't know if they want to do it in all this. I mean, because originally, remember, it's going to be like 5 Power 5s, then a group of 5. Now, as in like automatic bets, then it rests out largest. Now, is it going to be 4 group of 5s? Then 4 all the power conferences, and then 2 group of 5s? I don't know. In all this, and I know Stanford men's basketball has been terrible, and I know Cal is not that great in men's basketball either. I know Oregon State women's basketball was down last year, but when you look at the past, they've been good. I mean, they made Elite 8 a couple times. So I'm just saying. And I'm not just talking about football and recruiting either on this, by the way. I'm talking about every sport. It could hurt them. I mean, you can't deny it. Now, their goal, whenever they go, wherever they go, win that conference and try to build yourself back up. And Stanford football, you need to find a way to pick it up wherever you go next. But that's going to be a rebuilding project for like the next 3 to 5 years. And maybe give the new head coach starting this year a little bit more time than 3 to 5 years, actually. Give him like 4 years to figure it. 3 additional years. If you want to make a coaching change, make it at year 4 at the earliest, actually, because look, we don't know. He's thrust into a situation where it's a rebuild mode, and then all this Pac-12 is left out for dead here. And we don't know if they're going to go independent. We don't know if they're going to go to the Mountain West or the American. And the same thing goes for all of these teams here. In football, I don't know where they're going to go. Not just in football, but all sports. And my advice for those tennis programs that do have it, Oregon State does not have men's and women's tennis, by the way. You've got to schedule harder non-conference slate going forward, because rankings are based on points, on the point scale. And quality of wins and all that. And you're not going to get that in the pack. From the pack anymore. You got to do that through your non-conference, and you can't rely on making national indoor tournament every single year. You got to schedule hard out of conference as well. Anyways, if you like this content, like and subscribe button. See you guys later. 5 subscribers we're on the road to. Let's go. And I think, like I said earlier, I think it's safe to say it's going to impact them some, and some players might enter the transfer portal because a year from now, because they don't want to play in not that bad of a conference, or the recruiting is going to take a little bit of hit right now because of the uncertainty. Or even if they know where they're going to go, it's going to hurt them because they don't want to play in that conference.